So today we're brewing a kvass.
This is crazy.
So I had heard of kvass as a style, as a beer style. I didn't really know what it was. I knew it was Russian. I didn't know how it was made. I just knew it was a Russian beer style. The popular kvasses that are made today are made from beets and bread. And as I looked at it a little bit further, I realized that, being that it's the bread that they used was darker Russian rye bread, and which has a little bit of flavor, not a little bit, a lot of flavor in it itself. And I thought that, doing a kvass out of bread sounded a lot more appetizing to me than doing it out of beets.
We've got lots of bakers here at Big Rock, so why not bake our own? So we brought in, I think we got 21 or 22 employees baking this bread. We got over 150 loaves of this dark Russian rye bread, and they also added in raisins and cinnamon. So we're going to do up this mash, a watery mash. Traditionally, kvasses are made in a kitchen with a very small amount of barley, if any. Sometimes they're made just with bread. Ours is a beer, so it's going to be about 2.5% alcohol, a light malt base to it, and a ton of Russian rye bread.
The lauter tun filtered out the chunks of bread. It was amazing when we put in that bread into the mash, is where we added the bread, that it just disappeared with time in the mash. But we ended up with crust from the bread and raisins left over, and the bread itself was gone. The whole coordination of it, having all these volunteers from the brewery, having people burn themselves at home in their kitchens and it was a much bigger, more difficult project to bake all that beer in the middle, to bake all that bread in the middle of the summer. With all that, with the heat and everything, and I had a few people complaining about it, but with a smile on their face at the end of the day. So it was a complete collaborative project with everybody in the brewery that got involved, and it was a lot of fun. It has a very subtle cinnamon flavor to it. There is a hint of raisin. It's a very light hint of raisin, but it's there. So it's a yellowish golden color, very low alcohol, very refreshing. It's got a bit of a bready flavor to it, as you might expect, but it's there. It's going to be hazy from all that bread. It's unfiltered, the final product. We're not going to filter it at all, but it's quite tasty. I'm proud of it.
It's pretty good.